first thing we're going to do is, like with any flan, we're going to melt some sugar, about a cup to a cup and a half of it. Just straight sugar in a pan on the stove on medium to medium low temperature. You want to be super careful and mix it frequently with your spatula because the sugar can burn. So this is a flan mold, and we're going to now fill this with the caramel, which has fully melted. You want to move real quickly here because this caramel is going to solidify quickly once it goes into the mold. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and just get that in there as quickly as possible. And now we're going to move this around the edges to coat the edges. Just wanted to show you guys what a properly coated flan mold looks like when you're done. It should get nice and hard and no longer move around, but it should be thickly coated on the sides and the bottom. So when you start to get, I know I was using my bare hands before, when you start to get up towards the higher end, the caramel will heat up the mold, so definitely use oven mitts or some other sort of hand protection so you don't burn yourself. But that's what it should look like before we put in our flan filling. The custard filling for this flan is very easy. It's literally 3 ingredients. We have 5 large eggs, and then we're going to put in a can of coconut milk, and then a can of sweetened condensed milk, and this is obviously where the leche comes from in Leche Flan. And then we're just going to beat this until the custard filling becomes smooth. All right, we've got our flan molds here, and we're just going to go ahead and put that filling in and fasten our lid on top of the mold. If you've made flan or a souffle or something else like this before, you're familiar with this. We have a rack inside of this pot, and we're actually going to submerge our flan molds, not entirely, essentially up to the sides, into this warm water bath. And then this is going to go in the oven at 350 degrees for about 45 minutes or until the flan is entirely solid all the way through. I just took the Leche Flan out of the oven and took the top off, and you can see it's solid all the way through. If you jiggle it a little bit, there's a little bit of liquid that's on the top here, but if you were to touch it, it's firm all the way through the center. So we're going to let this cool back to room temperature before we do anything else. The flan has cooled a bit here, and I want to show you guys something. If you've made it correctly, you see how it's loose in the pan like that? That's how you know it's been done correctly. Now, I'm about to do something incredibly dangerous for a YouTube video. I'm going to flip this and unmold it in one take here, because you only get one shot at something like this. Otherwise, you have to try to make it again. So, I'm going to go ahead and put the plate over the top. And as quick as you can, we're going to flip it. Hopefully this comes out looking pretty. You want to be pretty careful here. Wow, that's beautiful. Look at that. Look at that wonderful caramel topping. Man, that came out just perfect. So there is a little bit of some bits that I'm going to clean up here for the final presentation, but this looks like it came out just right. This is what you want your flan to look like, regardless of what type of flan it is. I've cleaned up some of the loose bits here, so it looks a little more clean and presentable. Now, you should eat flan cold, so now I'm going to put this inside of a cake container, and we're going to refrigerate this overnight before we cut any slices. The flan is nice and chilled, and so we're going to go ahead and cut into it to see what the inside looks like here. Generally speaking, most countries that are former Spanish colonies have their own version of flan. In the United States, the most commonly encountered flan is Mexican flan for sure. This is the Filipino version, which was also a Spanish colony at one point, and their version is just as good as any of the Latin American ones, so I highly recommend that you try this out. I Am a Filipino is the book. If you enjoy my videos, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one.